basically, this is what you'll do, but you only have 8 kids. So for 5 minutes, we're going to talk about some footwork. You're going to probably have 4 lines because you need to at least have 2 kids in a line for this one, okay? The good thing is it's being videoed, so you don't have to remember this, okay? It's being videoed. Basketball for each person in the front of the line. So you may need 4 basketballs, you may need 2. If you only have 2, you can just make 2 lines, but each person will have a basketball. So basically, I'm sure that you know, do y'all know the #1 violation in basketball that's called traveling, okay? My daughter the other day, now she's the daughter of a basketball coach. I expected more out of her, but she was giving me the report from my son's football game. And she says, Dad, I don't know what it means, but the guy just said they traveled. And I said, Lauren, they don't travel in football, okay? But anyways, so what you're going to do right here is you're going to teach your kids to dribble out, and they're going to dribble to the red line, and they're going to jump stop. Okay? And they're going to jump stop, and what you want them to do is forward pivot, which means you'll tell them, I want you to pivot on your left foot, forward pivot, because only one foot can move in basketball. You can't move both. And then I want you to turn around and pass it to the next guy, and then go get back in line. All right? Ready? Go. Good. Forward pivot, pass. Next guy, go. Good. Good. There you go. Good. 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 Okay, stop right there. We got the idea. We're adults. We don't have to do it 95 times, right? Okay, so now we're going to go, and then, of course, you would catch it. Oh, you're dribbling while I'm talking, Johnny. You're the one that's going to be the strongest by the end of the year because you're going to have push-ups. I like that. He's practicing what is going to happen. All right, so this time you're going to put your right foot down, turn, pivot, and go. All right, go. 1 time through. Right foot down. Keep the right foot down. Good, good. 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 You're back to the front. Just stop. Okay? Now, a couple of different teaching points here is we want to tell them the reason we're landing on both feet for a couple of reasons, because you guys are going to be dribbling, and at some point, they're going to be stopped. Well, we want them to stop instead of trying to run through that dribble. So get them to stop. If you guys are advanced, you have 5th and 6th graders a little bit older, the next pivot would be here, and you can actually reverse pivot. Okay? But you do want them to get stable on both feet. You want to add anything to that, Coach?
That's it. The biggest thing we see is balance. We want to I always teach hit on the heel, roll to the toes. Okay? So you shouldn't be, I tell my little kids, don't sound like herd elephants. You don't want it to sound like that, you want it to sound like there. And so you roll from heel to toe, and that slows your momentum, and it keeps them. So you're going to see kids that fall forward because they're going too hard or going too fast for their bodies. And so if you go from heel to toe, that's one of the teaching points that we stress in the camps.
And this is what we call our footwork lines because we're working on footwork, but get them to make that one noise. You know, if you hear it, then that's going to be a travel, okay? And we use this a lot, especially when we come shoot a layup, okay, when we know that there's going to be a defender here instead of a uncontested layup, okay? All right, so that's what we would do there, okay? Now, those footwork lines can also go in. Can you put up 8 minutes, Coach? So those footwork lines can also be defensive footwork lines. You know, you can work on your defense as well in those lines.